Here.
Get Harry.
Harry? Yeah, all right.
Welcome back, everybody. We are joined this morning by lovely and talented Miss ivamichellerussell. Come to tussle, not wearing a bustle.
Do you have to be nice now that we're on TV?
I have to be extremely nice.
What do you want to talk about, man?
I want to talk, well, you'll never hear me say this much. I want to talk politics this morning.
Why, Shane? I haven't heard that out of your mouth probably a couple times in our whole, time knowing each other.
I know.
He usually tries to tell me to shut up, so. Should I tell him about my Shane Worley story, my big fan Shane Worley story? Can I start off with that?
Sure.
All right.
It's all
Shane,
right.
yeah, Shane Worley has been, I've inflicted myself on Shane Worley for about 8 years now.
Imposing your will.
No. I've learned that doesn't work with Shane Worley. So, you have to try different things. But anyway, when I was working on a project and I was wanting a voice, and Shane's laughing. I wanted a voice, and since Jeff Foxworthy's agent laughed his butt at me, I said, well, who's the most famous person in Grundy County? Since Shane Worley didn't have an agent, that to mess with, so that's what I kept on hearing. Oh, Shane Worley, Shane Worley. So I finally got a CD, and I'm like, man, that guy's pretty damn good, that's not bad. I like that voice. So. And I think I swore. I think that was a click. So I said, okay, fine. I'll give Shane Worley a call and I'll ask him. Yeah, well, I couldn't find Shane Worley. So it was about what, good 3 months, man. I was getting real miffed about it. You can go in hiding in Grundy County or elsewhere. So I finally found him. He was playing at the VFW. Mm-hmm. I want to say it was a Saturday night, maybe. Yep, it was a Saturday night. And I tracked him down, and I said, Shane, man, I need your voice. And Shane's like, yeah, sure. Yeah. Meet me at Pelham at 6:30 tomorrow morning, and
I'm going to Spain.
Because I'm going to Spain. And I'm like, really? I said, are you yanking my chain, here, buddy? And he was he yanking my chain? So I'm like, all right, fine, So at 6:30 in the morning, there I am at Pelham. Shane's looking at me like, man, she's crazy. Him and Dirk heading to Spain, because who just heads off to Spain for a tour? So I give him the little phone card, and I gave him the script that I wanted, and I said, here, and I'm like, okay. So then I'd say 3-4 days into the tour or whatever y'all are in Spain, I get this phone call from Spain. Hey, how's this thing work? And I had the instructions on it. It was so funny. How's this thing work? Because I said, so we went over it, and then and it was done. Boom. And I kept that voicemail on for like 5-6 months. And then he finally came in and played. Yeah. I think I hunted him down enough to, after he was off to play, and then we were stuck with each other ever since, pretty much. So anyway, that's my Shane Worley story. I hunted him down, and we've been friends ever since, or at least that's what I think. But anyway, we're having a party tomorrow night.
Yes,
Speaking of Shane Worley, Shane has been gracious enough to lend us his songwriters night, and since I'm a big fan of music, a big old groupie, we're getting some old friends together and do a little pickin' party. One of the greatest things that we have here is our musicians, and so, we I think we call it the chill factor, where you sit down and you've just got some good music going on. So we're going to have some good friends, it's a rock the vote, because I always have to combine music and my hobby, politics every now and then. But anyway, just, fun. So everyone come out 7 to 9 tomorrow night at the Saloon, and we'll have a little pickin' party and a little enjoying company and fellowship. So that's my plug for the Rock the Vote
Good
party.
Deal. Now, we will be going later than that, of course, but...
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, I must do the 7 to 9,
right.
And ladies of the VFW are going to be having some food there. Yeah. Any proceeds are going to go help their back-to-school program, so we want to combine good deeds. Those ladies do a lot of things for our veterans, so we'll make sure, that they're taken care of. So, yeah, we got that going on.
Outstanding.
What else? Politics?
Well, yeah, you are running for Grundy County Assessor of Property this go around.
This go around, yeah.
This go around.
Shane's been with me through the whole time. I think my first run was state rep after I closed Tubby's. I was so ticked off that I said, "Well,
you're gonna stay under you win something."
You know, by golly, how hard is running for state representative, right?
Yeah.
And so anyway, so that was that, and I think it was school board, and I think it was county commission, and then mayor. But we took care of Mont Eagle. And now it's property assessor. It's a paying gig. But
well, for those that don't know, give us a little background on yourself. You know, where you're from, family, education. You know, other offices you might have held, things you might have done.
Yeah, you know, probably all of the above. I've had a pretty normal career in the, I guess you call it the real world before I moved back home here. My grandparents, as you know, operated Tubby's. My mom was Ruby Lee, and she was quite an interesting character. Of course, I never knew anything about the life here in Grundy County because they kept it secret. I lived in suburbia. You know, mom and dad met after college, jobs going up north, and always come back home during the summers and worked on the farm, et cetera. But, never knew, never really thought about Grundy County. So after, kind of a bad divorce, I came home and to get some healing powers in and start a business, because doesn't everybody want to start a business? I mean, isn't that the American way? I had been my first campaign was 2001. I worked with a state rep candidate in Illinois. That was my first one when I started my own, 2001. And then when I came back here and was working on the Tubby's project, I hooked on to, I hunted them down, because you know how persistent I get. I hunted them down. Judd Matheny had just won. Yeah, Big Jed ran in 2002 and beat a 10-term incumbent. I mean, Butch Lewis. Was really impressed with him. He's a veteran. He's very strong conservative. He's a solid guy. If he means something, he says it. So anyway, he really, really impressed me during his run. So I tracked him down, hunted him down. I had to go through the Judd Matheny boot camp so that, hey, she's trustworthy. We did a TV show where we did a pilot for him. And then also Eric Stewart. That's the funny story. Eric Stewart, everyone says that, I don't like any Democrats. But Eric Stewart was a county commissioner in Franklin County. And he called me up. I had an ad in the Franklin County Chamber of Commerce, I think. It says, do you want a hired gun? The firm. It sounds really scary and ooh. Hired gun back then. So we worked on it. It's, communication with his constituents. Eric's a solid guy, really like him a lot, good family values. I said, but, if you do decide to go on further, I can't work with you because you're a Democrat. So he laughed about that, and we'd laugh about it now. He's still a good guy, but I still think he's wrong. So, and we always kibitz about it. But, the Democrats and Republicans are really not that far off. Back in 2003 when I was working with Judd, it was a Democratic majority in the state house for 150 years. I mean, this is Jimmy Nafee's way, and then there's no way. And so, when you get into that one-party system, it never works. So right now, the Republicans are in charge. We've got a clean sweep as of this past election. In Grundy County, there was 3 offices, actually 2 offices that were opening, 3 offices. State rep was running, property assessor was running, and District 1 was running because Ralph Reben had retired. I think that was his seat. So anyway, my job as chairman of the Republican Party is to fill the seats with solid Republicans. If I'm going to do anything, it's going to be good. So we've got solid Republicans running. Of course, no one wanted the property assessor job for whatever. Who likes taxes? And man, I hate them myself. But you've got to have someone in that office that I'm a big, strong property rights person. I think that a man's property is a man's. That's his house. You don't mess with it. You get permission when you go on the property, et cetera. So I'm a big, property rights person. And then, the taxes. Grundy County is facing some major financial issues coming up. We've got a contract coming up for our teachers. We've got to take care of our teachers. We've got 2 failing schools. I think it's Colmont and Palmer. We're going to have to address that issue. That's not going to be cheap. We haven't paid off our high school yet. We've got a jail that has pretty much been condemned, and everyone has been fighting about that, and obviously it seems like resigning, over the issues. We seem to be playing a little bit of patty cake with it because it's some major issues. We faced it with Montego when we had 1 million gallons of sewage running down the mountain. These things get serious. So we've got some major issues. We're going to have to either fund it or find ways to cut back, personally, like with the jail. And I disagree even with my own brethren on this. It needs to be very cost effective. But, personally, and this is just personally, because the property assessor job has nothing to do with this discussion. It's a strictly administrative job, and it's very administrative. Is that the jail should be? I put them in tents. Why should the state government? Why should the state government mandate? Give us an unfunded mandate. Say, man, you better build a jail. For $6 million or else. Well, they can't do that to us, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. So put them in a jail, work on the farm, give a man a fish, or give a man a fishing rod, he can fish for his lifetime. So figure out how to live. We got gorgeous land. So, but that's my opinion. We got taxes. We got a reassessment coming due 2014. Our county runs on our property taxes. And it runs on a lot of handouts from the state and federal government. How it works, that distribution of wealth thing. Grundy County benefits from that because we're a very small county. And so obviously we don't have the income to take care of the needs. And we have over 50% of our population that is on some form of government assistance. So, the county is going to have to take that burden. So what happens when, all hell breaks loose and the federal government is broke, and then the state government, has some issues because they get their money from the federal government? What happens to Grundy County? Well, we're in a world of hurt. So we have to have a plan B and a plan C. What if we get defunded? Because it's not always guaranteed. Whenever someone gives you a handout, it's not always guaranteed. They can always take that donut away. So, property taxes is what is going to fund our county and these decisions. And if we don't look at these decisions, and it's a puzzle, I've said about it, it's a financial puzzle. If we don't look at the contract, we don't look at the jail, we don't look at the schools, we don't look at the upcoming needs, and here's the big thing, fire departments. We've been very fortunate to have a lot of money that has come into our fire departments. But at a certain point, they've got to keep their equipment up to code or we lose our ISO ratings. ISO affects our insurance rates. So, we're up to code pretty much. I think everybody's pretty much up to code right now, but what happens a year from now? There's no federal money coming in. We've got equipment needs. They're in burning houses. Our fire department is not funded by the county, really, and they don't pay their fire department, and they've got needs. So, I think one of our most critical needs is our infrastructure and our fire departments. They're going to start getting equipment that, someone's going to die, and our house is going to be burning, and they're going to go, sorry, that truck's not running. And so, I don't know what the answer is, but we have got to start addressing that. So, it's a puzzle. I think the Republicans have a more, and I'm doing the party thing because I think we're really all close together in ideology for the most part. I think we're all conservatives. We just feel that you've got to look at these decisions logically and get to your core infrastructure, what your core needs are. When the Democrats chose they had appointed Don Hutchinson to the county commission. I thought it was a very wise choice. Don Hutchinson, has taken the EMS department to #1 in the state, several years. He knows how to run a budget. He is, he's a solid a man down. You're only as strong as your weakest link. So, we like how Don Hutchinson thinks. He may be a Democrat. That's fine and dandy. We try to get him to run as a Republican because we, big fan of Don Hutchinson. When they chose, when the Democrat Party caucus did not choose Don Hutchinson as their candidate, and they choose Emily Parton, fine girl. I've heard great things about her. She's got a sign that says "Change We Believe In." That is a different. When you choose from a Don Hutchinson, that is a path. Solid. Solid to a person that is pretty much unproven in managing a budget. Priorities. You've got to have this financial picture. So as property assessor, secure the borders, man. Make sure that we are tight. We are tight with our money, tight with our property taxes, our lines. Fair market value has gone way down since 2006, our last reassessment, or 2008, sorry. 2008, we've got to make sure this process, and then the last part is, you're running that office. There's a lot of things that go on in that office that I think need to change a little bit. It's public money. You don't have personal agendas for public money. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Short and sweet.
So what makes you the best candidate for the office, and what in your background or experience makes you the most qualified?
Okay, all right. Government. I've been a lobbyist for off-road vehicles up in Nashville for 6 years now. This will be my 6th year going at this. I understand the government process, and with this reassessment year, we're going to have to do it ourselves. And there's these certification levels that you have to take. You should take. You don't have to take. That prepare you. The state government has changed since back in the day, and so they're going to want certain things. I know systems. I know the computer systems. I know what state government wants. I don't always agree with state government. In fact, more times than often, I don't agree. But I know that you have to hit these certain numbers. So I am incredibly well versed on government processes, and we'll do it. I hope to make you proud on that. And then the second thing is, I want to make sure that office is run ethically. I don't think that people know that they're doing wrong in that courthouse. I really don't. But in the real world, and I hate to say it that way, things operate differently. There's checks and balances where, you don't put personal agendas. You don't campaign in the courthouse. That's the people's house. You don't do that. People have gone to jail for that in different instances. We don't have those laws in place yet in Illinois, and I'm not for more laws, but there's a way that you run. This is the people's money, and it's not a personal agenda thing. It's the people's money. So I think I'm the best person to do that job. I think from knowing me, I don't back down on issues. Someone's not going to intimidate me because they're going to give me a new truck.
Sure.
If I'm going to sell out, man, I want an island somewhere in Hawaii. I laugh with my girlfriends about that. If you're going to sell out, do it big.
Right.
I'm not going to. I have to sleep at night. I have to know. Just like you in music. You have never been a sellout in music ever. It may have cost you your chance in Nashville because you didn't play their game. You're the greatest. I feel you're the greatest unsigned artist in our entire area, in our entire country music. But you don't sell out. And that's why I love you. And so that I think that for me is that I won't sell out. And it's an integrity issue. I just when you're making hard decisions, and these are some hard decisions, I hope to offer. I'm a team player. We're all in this together. Mm-hmm. I just think there's a better way, and our people must come first. And and this is going to sound crazy, and I apologize right now, but if all hell breaks loose, let's just go on the crazy end there. I want to make sure my home is safe, mm-hmm. and I want to make sure my loved ones are safe, and I want to make sure that that we're taken care of. So that's really the bottom line. It's securing the borders, man. Any question?
So watch the voters elect you to be the next assessor of property.
Yeah, change we can believe in. I just I ask for your vote. I ask for your prayers. I hope that you open a heart. There's never been a Republican elected in Grundy County. We need a two-party system. We need a checks and balances. We need a two-party system. I'm offering you an opportunity. I'm offering you a choice. And I'm nothing bad whatsoever to say against Joanne Childers, my opponent. I thought she was retiring. I think she's a good woman. I just want to be given the opportunity to serve you, because that's what it's about. I promise you I will never let you down. So please, please vote. No matter what, just please vote.
Outstanding. Michelle, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for allowing me.
Once again, we will invite everybody out to the Rock the Vote party tomorrow at the saloon in Monteagle.
Pickin' party. We need it.
Have a little food, have a little music, give you all a chance to kind of calm down after the politic.
We're heading to D.C. August 3rd, man. I'm getting out of town with the kids, and we are going to the D.C. Liberty Tour.
Good deal.
So anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hey, we're going to take a break. We're going to come. Do we want to do our regular 8 o'clock stuff, or we want to wait on that, or just wait? All right, well, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. Y'all be sweet.